Hello everyone, this is Nicole Miller with the Autism Society of Tidewater, Virginia. I am the resource coordinator and we are going to introduce you to autism today through our Autism 101 module. We want to show you guys a quick video on what autism feels like, and it's an animated short video from YouTube that we found very useful for families and individuals who are new to the disorder.
We are all different, and that's wonderful. Some differences are easy to see. Height, hairstyle, gender, eye color, and so on. Other differences can't be seen. Our favorite foods, fears, or special skills. Interestingly, the way we see the world is also different. For instance, what do you see in this drawing? Most people see a duck, but some of you might have seen a rabbit. Whichever you saw, you are correct. This is just a trick drawing to show you that all brains work differently. The brain is your body's computer. It works differently for all of us and controls how you learn. That's why we are all good at different things. How you feel, which is why we all feel different emotions. And how you communicate. Sometimes the brain is connected in such a way it affects senses and how we perceive and read situations and interactions. This is known as autism. Many people have autism, so it's likely you already know someone who is autistic. And for this reason, it's useful to know a little bit about autism. The special wiring inside an autistic brain can sometimes make the person good at tasks we may find difficult, such as mathematics, drawing, or music. It can also do the opposite, and activities we find too easy are incredibly difficult to them, such as making friends. The senses constantly send information to your brain about your surroundings and other people. However, when a person's brain and its senses don't communicate well, the brain can become overwhelmed and confused, affecting how they see the world. Picture yourself walking down the street. This is how an autistic brain may experience the same walk. Scary, isn't it? Sadly, in many cases, the person can't say out loud how they feel. So even though there's chaos going on in their heads, they seem okay on the outside, unable to ask for help. We all develop behaviors to help us feel calm in uncomfortable situations. We may look away, hug ourselves, chew our fingernails, fidget, bite our lips, and so on. Equally, autistic people develop behaviors that help them cope with these intense moments. These actions may seem unusual, but they're just their way to feel calm. When they happen, it means they are having a hard time. The kind thing to do is not to give them an even harder time by getting cross, ignoring them, or mocking them. Remember, just because a PlayStation can't read an Xbox game, it doesn't mean it's broken. People with autism need friends who are willing to take the time to know them. With good communication and plenty of patience, everyone will be better off. People with autism are not ill or broken. They simply have a unique view of the world. And with a little support from their friends, they might just be able to share that view with us. Autism can make amazing things happen.
Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining us today again for our Autism 101. I want to take you through our PowerPoint slide. Some of our contact information here at the Autism Society of Tidewater, Virginia is we have an office located in Virginia Beach, Virginia in the Pembroke area, 4605 Pembroke Lake Circle, Unit 202. You can stay connected to us by visiting our um, website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our meetup group. You can also call or text us at 757-461-4474. You can email me directly at nicole.miller@tidewaterasa.org. And again, our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, Meetup are great outlets to connect with us. Our Meetup group page has our events calendar, and I definitely recommend you joining that so that you can also get our monthly updates. What we do here at the Autism Society, we have support groups for parents and caregivers called Chat and Choose. Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Suffolk, and Newport News is the 5 cities that we host those in currently. We also have resource fairs, parent trainings, family gatherings and events, respite nights in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Newport News, and Williamsburg, tween, teen, and adult socials and outings. And our coverage area is Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Smithfield, Franklin, Newport News, Hampton, Poquoson, Williamsburg, and the counties of Middlesex, Gloucester, Matthews, James City, York, Isle of Wight, Surrey, Sussex, Emporia, Greenville, Southampton, Accomack, and Northampton. We do our best to provide resources and information to and referrals to any referral services to anyone who contacts us. Our mission is, since we started our organization as part of the Autism Society of America, our affiliate here has been going strong since 1981. So that's been 38 years. We are a grassroots organization. We are staffed by parents and volunteers who all have a loved one with autism. Um, and by improving the lives of everyone affected by autism, whether that's the individual or the family member, friend, cousin, whoever. We do this by increasing public awareness, advocating for appropriate services for individuals across the lifespan, providing the latest information on treatment, education, research, and advocacy. And again, we are an affiliate of the oldest and largest autism-specific member organization, which is the Autism Society of America. And we want to create a inclusive society with participating members where we make individuals with autism participating members of their communities. And again, we do this by providing awareness, education to professionals, parents, and we maintain supportive, informative networks of parents, professionals, and community leaders. All right. According to the DSM-5, or the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, I apologize, I'm tripping over my words. Effective 2013, the DSM-5 lists the autism disorder and other spectrum disorders all under the umbrella of autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. Every child, teen, and adult with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, will present in different ways, but they will share the basic characteristics of the disorder. And awareness is key. And again, if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. The main characteristics of autism are difficulties with social interactions, perspective taking, inferencing, difficulties with communication, receptive and expressive language, vocal stereotypy, including echolalia or scripted speech, repetitive and restrictive behaviors, narrow focus, narrow focuses on specific interests, fixating on maybe trains, dinosaurs, all kinds of different narrow interests, sensory sensitivities, or sensory seeking behaviors. 10 Things Every Child with Autism Wishes You Knew by Ellen Notbaum. I am first and foremost a child. I have autism, but I'm not primarily autistic. My sensory perceptions are disordered. Please remember to distinguish between I won't, I choose not to, and I can't, I'm not able to. I am a concrete thinker. Please be patient with my limited vocabulary. Because language is so difficult for me, I'm visually oriented. Please focus and build on what I can do rather than what I can't do. Please help me with social interactions. Try to identify what triggers my meltdowns. If you are a family member, please love me unconditionally. And finally, 3 words: patience, patience, patience. Some therapeutic options. As per our options policy here at the Autism Society, I'm just going to list off some therapeutic options, but these should all be discussed with your physician. Speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, applied behavioral analysis, pivotal response treatment, cognitive behavior intervention, parent-child interaction therapy, dialectic behavior therapy, positive behavior support therapy, therapeutic recreation, equine therapy or hippotherapy, and many other types of therapy options. And all therapies should be, if your child or adult with autism is receiving multiple therapies, they should all be working together. So sharing information across disciplines so that they can, weave in and out of each other. Here's an example of how 4 different types of therapeutic models can work together in harmony. So I'll just leave this as an example. Um, Grants and scholarships that we like to highlight: Virginia Lifespan Respite Voucher Program. It's respite is allowing the parent or caregiver, primary caregiver, a break. It's a $400 respite voucher. So you would hire a respite care provider, and then you would be reimbursed up to $400 after you've already paid that respite provider. The United Healthcare Children's Foundation provides um, medical reimbursement for certain types of medical expenses. They have an application process, and that's their website. ODU Speech and Hearing Clinic has the Tidewater Scottish Rite Scholarship for summer therapy. It's speech therapy services. If you want to take part in that, you can visit their website. Um, Other providers have different scholarships and grants, so these were just 3 where we were highlighting. But please ask your provider if they have a grant or scholarship program. Project Lifesaver is the next safety resource we would like to highlight. It is a national proactive electronic tracking program used to assist in locating people with autism spectrum disorder that may become lost or endangered. It is a radio frequency device that is attached to the person, whether their wrist or their ankle, and you want to call 911 as soon as that person goes missing, so that they can activate that device. Then go look for them, not before. You always want to call 911 to get that device activated. Um, the Big Red Safety Box with the National Autism Association is a box of free resources. So they'll have door chimes, um, shoe tags, big red stop signs that you can place on the door, all kinds of great information that you can use in your IEP. Um, lots of great information. Culture City also does a life book, which is a box, again, another box full of safety resources. Again, this is another free safety resource for you. Some sensory-friendly options here in Tidewater: Special Needs Under the Sea at the Virginia Aquarium, Chrysler Museum Sensory-Friendly Days in Norfolk, Special Needs Day at the Children's Museum in Portsmouth, Day for Disabilities at the Virginia Zoo in Norfolk, Autism Awareness Nights at Harbor Park in Norfolk, Sensory-Friendly Night for the International Tattoo at Norfolk Scope, AMC Movies, sensory-friendly movies. They occur in Virginia Beach and Hampton. Cinema Cafe, sensory-friendly movies at all their locations. All right. Education, special education. There are 5 steps in the special education process: identification and referral, evaluation, determination of eligibility, development of an individualized education program or IEP, and determination of services, reevaluation conducted at least every 3 years. To be eligible for special education services, the child's disability must impact their education and require specialized instruction. And remembering that a medical diagnosis and an educational diagnosis are not always the same. Now, what's the difference between an IEP and a 504 plan? The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, is a law that makes available free and appropriate public education to eligible children with disabilities throughout the nation and ensures special education and related services to those children. IDEA governs how an individualized education plan, or IEP, is constructed and implemented. Currently, the Virginia Department of Education uses a standards-based IEP, which is tied directly to the state's content standards. Both the student's present level of performance and some of the annual IEP goals are aligned with and based on the state's grade level standards, which creates a program that is aimed at getting the student to a proficient level on the state standards. Section 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act provides special accommodations for qualifying students with a medical or mental impairment that substantially limits a major life function. It provides equal access. 504 plan is constructed by the school staff to give a child special considerations or accommodations with the classroom climate, seating arrangements, health services, modified assignments, testing accommodations, behavior management plans, transportation, and modified physical education. Now, the educational definition of autism. Autism means a developmental disability significantly affecting verbal and nonverbal communication and social interaction, generally evident before the age of 3, that adversely affects a child's educational performance. Other characteristics often associated with autism are engagement in repetitive activities and stereotyped movements, resistance to environmental change or change in daily routines, and unusual responses to sensory experiences. Autism does not apply if a child's educational performance is adversely affected, primarily because the child has an emotional disturbance. A child who manifests the characteristics of autism after age 3 could be identified as having autism if the criteria in this definition are satisfied. Regulations governing special education programs for children with disabilities in Virginia. And here is the link to the regulations. Some important acronyms and abbreviations. 504 is a section of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. ADA, Americans with Disability Act. DD, or Developmental Disability. ED, Emotional Disability. FAPE, Free and Appropriate Public Education. FBA, Functional Behavioral Assessment. IDEA, Individuals with Disability Education Act. IDEIA, Individuals with Disability Education Improvement Act of 2004. Least Restrictive Environment. LRE, Least Restrictive Environment. OT, Occupational Therapy. PDD, Pervasive Developmental Disorder. PWN, Prior Written Notice. SEAC, Special Education Advisory Committee. SI, Sensory Integration. SLD, Specific Learning Disability. SP/L or S/L, Speech and Language. SPED, SPED, Special Education. VDOE, Virginia Department of Education. VAP, VAAP, Virginia Alternative Assessment Program. VGLA, VGLA is the Virginia Grade Level Alternative Program. Some educational tips and reminders: keeping good records, document in writing any conversations you have with teachers, staff, or administrators. So if you have a conversation with a teacher, please make sure you follow up with an email. You can call an IEP meeting at any time. You can take a friend, family member, or educational advocate with you to IEP meetings. Just please let the IEP team know so that they have enough seating. Request in advance any reports or documents that will be discussed during any upcoming IEP meetings. Best practices for autism spectrum disorder are listed here. The link is right on this slide. And it can be emailed to you as well. Virginia Medicaid waivers. Now, we have 2 Medicaid waivers in the Commonwealth of Virginia. One, there is no wait list, and the other one, there is a wait list. But if there's a wait list now, there'll be a wait list later, so you want to make sure you get on it. Virginia Medicaid waivers allows individuals with disabilities to remain in their homes and communities with services and support. What they mean by waiver is it waives their right or their placement in an institution or training facility. So you want to keep them in the home with community-based services. And also the Medicaid's financial requirements are based on the individual income, applicant's income, not the family. So it's solely based on the child or adult with autism's income. Autism is not an automatic criteria for any waiver. The applicant will need to have significant needs and functional needs, activities of daily living, and/or medical needs to qualify under the Uniform Assessment Instrument, UAI, and/or the VIDES, Virginia Individual Developmental Disability Eligibility Survey. We will again explore two types of waivers. The one without a wait list is the Commonwealth Coordinated Care Plus waiver, formerly known as the EDCD waiver, or Elderly or Disabled with Consumer Direction waiver that merged with the TEC waiver in 2017, and the Developmental Disabilities Waiver Program with 3 waivers on this program: Building Independence, Family and Individual Support, and Community Living waivers. And while you wait on the wait list for the DD waiver program, the Developmental Disabilities Waiver Program, you can apply for a grant program known as the Individual and Family Support Program. The Individual and Family Support Program was designed to assist individuals on the waiting list for the Developmental Disabilities Waiver Program, or DD waiver, to access short-term resources, supports, and services that will help them remain in their community. And you can get such services as therapy, companion animals, assistive technology, home modifications, goods or products that directly support the individual, temporary rental assistance or deposits, fees for summer camps and other recreation services, temporary services with utilities or deposits, dental or medical expenses of the individual, family education, and training. So we will go into the Medicaid waivers program more so in our Autism 201, as well as our Medicaid waiver workshop. Thank you so much for joining us. Our next training, or our next Autism 201, is scheduled for this week, Wednesday, October 23rd at the Chesapeake Parent Resource Center. Again, please check our meetup group page calendar as well as our Facebook calendar for more information about upcoming events. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day.